Once been endless. A green world of rustling leaves in patient sunlight, where every tree knew the slow language of wind and rain. They spoke to each other through roots deep underground, sharing warnings, sharing water, sharing dreams older than memory. But lately, the dreams had turned to nightmares. Every morning, the trees felt the rumble first, a dull, distant shaking that vibrated through the soil. Then came the growl of engines, the metallic roar that pierced the forest like a scream. Birds scattered, animals fled, and the trees, they could not run. That was the cruelest part of their suffering. They stood rooted as the machines approached. The oldest tree, an ancient cedar whose trunk was thick with centuries, felt each vibration like a heartbeat that was not his own. His branches ached, his needles drooped. He whispered to the younger trees, "Hold fast, little ones, the cutters come again." But the younger trees trembled. Their roots quivered in the dark soil. For months, they had watched their friends fall one by one, giants crashing helplessly, their voices silenced forever. The cedar remembered every impact. He remembered the oak who sang to the dawn. He remembered the birch with the silver bark that danced in spring winds. He remembered the mighty redwood who had shaded generations of deer. Gone. All of them gone. Now there were only gaps, raw, empty spaces where sunlight stabbed the ground like a knife. The forest felt thinner, lonelier, wounded. And still, the machines came. The cedar tried to call out, using the old root speech to reach the humans. He pushed his warnings into the soil, tried to make the ground tremble beneath their feet. But they did not hear him. They never heard. The cutters raised their saws. The cedar felt the first bite of steel as a cold fire. Bark split. Wood screamed. Sap ran like tears. Every tree around him felt it through the root web, the pain echoing, rippling, spreading like shock waves. The forest cried together. Birds circled overhead, confused by the falling shadows. A young sapling reached out desperately with thin roots, trying to share strength. But she was too small. Her whisper broke into silence. The cedar fought to stay upright. He remembered the children who once carved initials in his bark. He remembered the lovers who sat beneath him. He remembered the storms he had endured, the winters he had survived, the summers he had shaded. He had stood for 500 years. He fell in moments. And as he crashed, the forest felt a piece of its soul tear away. When the dust settled, only stumps remained, like gravestones. The soil was bare. The wind moved strangely, confused by the missing trees it once played with. The forest did not sing anymore. It only remembered. It remembered every leaf lost, every trunk broken, every root severed without mercy. And in that quiet, bitter emptiness, the trees that still stood whispered the same question to one another again and again. Why must we suffer?